child's pose, please. So start to find your way to your mat, get yourself set up, and take your time dropping in. Now at home, it can be a little bit harder to settle down. So really take a moment. And chins, tops of the feet come to the mat. Settle hips back onto your heels. And find a place for your forehead to rest. And I'm going to go ahead and mute all of you so you can play your own music during class. Yeah, and just start to settle, start to ground, arrive at practice. Just give yourself a little moment of gratitude, of stillness, for arriving in practice today, getting your, Zoom on a Saturday night. And just take a few breaths to really settle into it. You have options in child's pose. Knees can come out wide, belly falls through, lots of room for breath. Or maybe knees pull tight beneath you, more of a shelf for your torso, a little bit more support. And hands could come out long in front of you, grounding through the palms, softening through shoulders, through elbows. Or maybe hands come back by your hips, palms face up. Just something a little different in the shoulders, maybe a little bit softer, more of a self-hug today. And just find your comfortable version of child's pose and take note of it. This space is available to you all throughout class. So whether breath is choppy or short or caught, or you just need a break in the body, this is a space that you can always come back to. You always have that choice to return to stillness, to your breath, to take a moment for you. So keep that in mind as we flow. And as we always do, we'll take a breath together before we get too far. We take these vibrational breaths that Yoga to the People, they help us connect really tangibly our breath to our body, to our movement. But also helped us connect with one another. And even though we can't hear each other in those moments where breath is cued, just think of the connection, that community building, that vibration. So we'll start with one together. Exhale all of your air out, SH. Inhale a full belly breath in, all the way to the top, filling up. And exhale, sigh it out, HA. Awesome. So those ha's, the flutters of the lips, any kind of big vibrational breath that calls to you, feel free to take those at any time. And then slowly start to introduce a little bit of movement into your child's pose. Maybe rolling your forehead across the mat, ironing out the space between your eyebrows. And maybe that motion travels all the way down your spine into your hips, just gently swaying, inviting a little bit of movement. And then if your hands aren't there already, start to crawl them forward. Reach them so far that your wrists and elbows start to tense up off of the mat, all the way to fingertips. Just use that little bit of pressure in the tips of your fingers to lengthen your spine a little bit more. Shoulders away from the ears, hips towards the heel. And then you can re-soften through your hands. Ground through the palms, spread your fingers out. So let's take one more collective breath before we move. Exhale, drain your lungs. Inhale, full breath. And exhale, HM. Awesome. And then drawing your hands forward. As you inhale, rise to all fours, tabletop position. So shoulders stack over wrists, hips stack over knees. And then really ground through all corners of your hands into the mat. We'll just take a few cat-cows here. So inhale, belly drops, head and tailbone lift for cow. And exhale, round your spine. Pull your belly in, tailbone tucks under for cat. Inhale, heart forward, head up, cow. And exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Pull in for cat.
Yeah, it says my microphone's on.
And then just take a couple breaths like that on your own. And find some movement that works into your space, into those sticky parts of your body. And maybe it's a little bit more organic. Maybe you start to break it apart, swaying tailbone far from side to side, finding more of a barrel roll in your hips or in your chest. Awesome. You can really break it apart, find what feels good in your body in this moment. And then next time you pass through neutral spine, pause. Start to tuck your toes under beneath you. As you inhale, lift your knees off the mat just an inch, squeezing your core. And then exhale, hips come up and back, heels towards the mat for your first downward facing dog. When you get there, break it apart, find some movement again. Maybe you pedal out your feet, bend one knee, then the other. Maybe it's swaying your tailbone really far from side to side, getting into that nice side stretch feeling. Whatever it is, just find some little bits of organic movement to settle you into the pose before you get too technical. Find a little space, a little breath. And then we'll start to clean it up. So glance between your hands, check to see that they're about shoulder width distance. Really spread your fingers wide, ground through all corners of your hands into the mat. And then press your heart, your chest towards your thighs. Check in with feet that they're about hips width distance apart, like your head could fit snugly between them. And then press yourself down. Maybe bend your knees at first, send your tailbone really far to the sky. And then once you found a little more length in your spine, slowly you can start to straighten your legs, drop heels towards the mat. You don't need to straighten your legs. You can always keep that micro bend if it allows your spine to be a little bit longer. And then take a breath. Find a little bit of stillness in this downward dog, this big upside down V. We'll come back here a whole lot. And with your inhale, right leg rises. Go for length rather than height, reaching through your heel towards whatever's behind you, like you'd stamp your foot on a wall. And try and level out through the hips at first, really stretching along the back of your legs. Then another full inhale will send your foot higher. Exhale, peel it open, bend your knee, stack your hips, find some movement. You could bend and straighten your leg, roll out your ankle, roll out your hip joint. Whatever feels good to start opening up across right side body, right side hip. Yeah, awesome choices. And then one more full inhale will send your leg back long behind you. And exhale, drops your toes to the mat. And with your inhale, left leg rises. Again, go for length first. Really reach through your heel. Pull length out of the back body, the back of your leg. Once you've found a little bit of that, another inhale, send your foot higher. Exhale, peel it open, find some movement. And it can be the same thing you did on the other side, or it can be something totally different. Whatever feels good to start opening up your left side body, left side hip. Nice. And then take one more inhale to send your left leg back long. And exhale, toes drop to the mat. Then bend your knees, glance between your hands. And take a long walk forward to the top of your mat, hang heavy in your forward fold. And take your time to arrive. When you get there, let everything spill forward. Soften the back of your neck. Maybe take a softness, a bend in the backs of your knees too, so your belly can reach your thighs. Then just brace yourself forward. Maybe you grab for opposite elbows, add a little bit of extra weight. Maybe you sway side to side, find a little bit of movement in this rest. And then with an exhale, release any grip you have. Check in that your feet are about hips width distance. That's two soft fists between your inner arches if you want to check. And then as you inhale, find half lift, flat back, long spine. Hands press shins or thighs, crown of the head forward. And then really try and shift your weight towards the front. So your weight's in your toes, so your hips stack directly over your heels or as close to it as they can. And use the pressure in your thighs or maybe in your shins to really lengthen across your spine, shoulders drop down your back. And lift from the chest, think open heart. And just one more inhale to lengthen. And then exhale, still forward, forward fold. And on your inhale, rise all the way up, reach up, mountain pose. So 2 feet ground, 2 arms reach tall. We're all pretty comfortable standing on our own 2 feet, but shift your weight around. Where do you really land in your mat? Where are you grounding? And can you get really intentional with it? Can you find that center of balance? And then maybe engage a little bit more. So pull up on your kneecaps, engage through your thighs, tuck your tailbone, engage through your low core. Knit low ribs together, but lift from your heart space. And then soften your shoulder blades down your back by wrapping your pinkies inwards. And maybe you close your eyes. Take a softness in your face. And just for a moment, stand tall in triumph. You made it to yoga on a Saturday night. So take a breath for that, for you, for arriving. And then with another inhale, flutter your eyes open if they were closed. Reach up, reach back, maybe back bend. And exhale, fold forward all the way down, release. One more inhale, half lift, seals it off. Flat back, long spine. And then exhale to fold. Plant your hands, step your feet back, and pause on the top of a push-up. We'll set up our first flow together. So these flows are the thread that connects our postures that leads us throughout class. So we'll take them a whole lot, but feel free to modify it, make it what you need. And we'll take this first one all as a group. Take an inhale to press the mat away, upper back lifts. Exhale, hug the elbows in, lower halfway down. Inhale your heart forward and up, tops of the feet, release to the mat, upward facing dog. And then exhale, tuck the toes, hips come up and back, more familiar, downward facing dog. So again, that's our flow. We'll take that a lot, but feel free to drop to your knees if need be. Feel free to skip it, just go straight into down dog. It's whatever you want it to be. It can be building, it can build strength and heat, or it can be more of a reset. So find your own flow. So let's put that all together with breath. So bend your knees, glance between your hands. Step, hop, or float forward to the top of your mat. Hang heavy, forward fold. Let everything spill, let it soften for just a breath. Then inhale, half lift, flat back, long spine. And exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach back, mountain pose. And then when your exhale comes, let it release you all the way back down, forward fold. One more inhale, half lift, feel it off. And exhale to plant your hands, step your feet back, and travel through your flow. Upper push-up to lower, upward facing dog to downward facing dog. And then when you get back to down dog, take it one more time all on your own. First one breath, one movement. And just let this be really about flowing through the movement. Think inhale, I move, exhale, I move again. And just try and build that connection between body and breath before anything gets more complicated than just standing on your 2 feet. And allow your breath to be big. Allow your breath to fill space. And we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. So get there in your own time. Arrive on your own breath. When you find that place of stillness, start to exhale all of your air away. Inhale, full breath in. And exhale, HA, let it go. Awesome. Then your inhale sends your right leg long and back behind you. And as you exhale, draw knee to nose, shoulders round forward to a plank. Inhale, right leg long. Exhale, right knee, right elbow, look to the right. Inhale, right leg long. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, look left. Inhale, right leg long. Then exhale to step it through. Plant your foot between your hands, use your core. Feel your back heel down behind you, 45 degrees. Then inhale, rise up, reach up, warrior one. So settle into your warrior one. Front knee stacks over front ankle, front toes face directly forward. And again, your back heel seal down to the back of your mat. So ground through the outside edge of your left foot. See if you can press your left hip a little bit forward. Sit a little bit lower, pull right hip a little bit back. So you're squaring towards the front of your mat. Might be more of a feels like than a looks like, but find that sensation of drawing the inner thighs together to turn you forward. And then from the waist up, it's just mountain pose. So lift from your heart space, soften your shoulders, relax your face, soften your jaw. And take one more inhale, sit low. reach up, reach back. And exhale, two hands come to the mat. Step your foot back and travel through your flow, upper to lower, up dog to down dog. And back in downward facing dog. Inhale, sends the left leg long and back. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders round forward. Inhale, left leg long. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, look left. Inhale, left leg long. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, look right. Inhale, left leg long. And exhale, use your core, step it in between your hands. Feel your right heel down behind you. Inhale, rise up, reach up, warrior one. Awesome. So settle low into your lunge, check in, front knee still stacking. Yeah, and ground through the back edge of your right foot. And then really try and squeeze your right leg straight behind you, because that'll help you pull your right hip a little bit forward. Sit lower, pull left hip back, turn towards the front. And then soften your face, soften your shoulders. Maybe close your eyes. See if that changes this moment. Does it make it just that much trickier? Does it allow you to draw inward rather than focusing on what's around you? Just notice that. And then flutter your eyes open. One more full breath in. Sit low, reach up, reach back. And exhale, two hands catch the mat. Step your foot back and travel through your flow. And then when you find your downward facing dog, it's all yours. One breath, one movement through warrior one, both sides. You can take or leave the core work. That is entirely up to you. If you really like core work, then be my guest. But if not, skip it. Leave it alone if it's not yours today. Practice what serves you. These one breath, one movements are your opportunity to be your own best teacher, to really guide what you need and what you feel on your mat. Just allow your breath to move you. Inhale, I move. Exhale, I move again. And sometimes another really great choice is just a child's pose. Take a moment to reconnect with breath, reconnect with stillness. When you find yourself back in your down dog, if you choose down dog, make it active, keep it strong, press the mat away, send your hips up high. And if you choose to rest in a child's pose, really allow yourself to rest fully. Don't hold on to anything while you're there. Allow your breath to move freely. And then we'll meet back with a breath in whatever version of stillness you found today. So if you're there, exhale to drain your lungs. Inhale, full belly breath in. And exhale, HA, sigh it out. Awesome. And from downward dog, inhale, send your right leg long behind you. Exhale to step it in between your hands using that core again. This time, keep your left heel lifted for a moment. Plant your left hand down, peel right arm open, twist towards your right leg. And allow yourself to really turn open from the navel to the crown of your head. So keep popping your heel up high, straightening your back leg to turn, leveling your hips. And then maybe your gaze can follow your top hand. You can see the back of your hand. It's a pretty good indication your hands are in one line. And just take one more breath to really reach out of your top hand. And then exhale, right hand comes down. Feel your back heel down. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Then exhale to peel open, warrior two. So you may need to lengthen your stance. Warrior two is a big posture, so don't be afraid to take up space. You're accommodating for your hips rolling open, so about that distance should help. And then shoulders stack over your hips. Front knee stacks over front ankle. Make sure it's not bowing in or out as well, but really sitting directly over your ankle. And then feel for two arms reaching in one line, but check in with your back hand. See if it's really where you think it is and adjust accordingly. And then take your gaze over your right hand in front. Soften it. Maybe even close your eyes. As you take a breath to stay. And with your exhale, sit a little bit lower. Inhale to reach wide. And exhale, cartwheel two hands down. Step your foot back. and travel through your flow. And back to your downward dog. Your inhale will send your left leg long and back. And exhale to step it through. Keep your back heel lifted. Plant your right hand down this time. Peel left arm open, twist towards the left. Feel for shoulders turning to stack. And really squeeze your right leg straight behind you. Pop your right hip up. Yes, very nice, Aiden. So you find that length, leveling your hips. Think inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, turn a little deeper. And one more inhale. And exhale, brings your left hand down. Feel your right heel down behind you. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. And exhale, peel open, warrior two. So take the time to adjust your stance, any extra length you may need. Take up space here. Then check in, front knee stacking. Your back foot's gonna be more like parallel to the back of your mat this time. Again, that's helping your hips turn open to really find that sensation of growing wide. Two arms reaching long. And then for a moment, flip your palms to the ceiling. Allow that to soften your shoulders into their sockets. And then just slowly flip your hands back over without moving your shoulders. See if that makes any difference. And gaze comes over your left hand in front. For one more inhale, as you sit low, reach wide. And exhale, two hands cartwheel down. Step your foot back and travel through your flow. And then when you make it back to downward dog, again, it's all yours. One breath, one movement. Warrior one, warrior two. And the twist, take it or leave it. Add in what you like, leave out what you don't. Just allow this to be your own movement, your own breath. And maybe if it's available to you, you can close your eyes. See what it is to feel your way through it instead of looking for something. And even if it's just for those small moments of stillness, the peak of a posture, the peak of a breath, that little bit of internal focus could make all the difference in the world. You never know if you don't try it on. Love the choices being made. It's a powerful choice to rest. And no matter what you do within this hour, you showed up, you got to yoga. Our founder and also another teacher of ours says a lot that the yoga starts when you make the decision to show up, when you decide you're going. So allow whatever happened between then and now to still be your yoga. We'll meet back in stillness. So if you're flowing, by all means, keep flowing, keep moving, move at your own pace. But if you're there, exhale to drain your lungs. Inhale, full breath in, all the way to the top. And exhale, HA. Then bend your knees, glance between your hands, step, hop, float forward to the top of your mat, hang heavy, forward fold. Let everything spill. Maybe check in. Is there any more length in the backs of your legs after a little bit of a warm up? Is there any more softness you can bring into this? And then with an inhale, half lift, flat back, long spine. And exhale to fold, release. And on your inhale, sit hips low, heart high, arms reach, chair pose. So sit back into your chair. Check in that 2 feet, 2 knees are parallel, hips width distance. And then if you can't see your toes peeking out from in front of your knees, just slide your hips a little bit more back in space. Yeah, thanks. And then lift from the upper back. Try and open the heart space. So wrap the pinkies inward so shoulders soften, but try and reach up high. And maybe you can soften your gaze, soften your face. Maybe you can even smile. And just sit into a space where resistance is there, but you have the strength to stay. Find that edge where it's a little bit more of a challenge. For one more full breath in, sit low, reach tall, and exhale, let it go. Fold forward, release. How quickly can you go from working really, really hard to softening really, really fully? Take a breath, Take a moment. And then on your inhale, find it again. Hips low, heart high, arms reach, chair pose. So sit right back into that space where you just left off, that challenge you found, and use your breath to stay. H-A, ha's, H-M, flutters of the lips. Whatever you can do to bring breath into your body in a moment of challenge. How can your breath show up for you when things get a little bit sticky, a little bit hard? You have full access to breath in chair pose. So can you breathe a little deeper? Can you sit a little deeper? For one more inhale, sit low, reach tall. And exhale, let it go. Fold, forward, soften, release. Take your moment. Take your breath. Maybe you bend one knee, then the other, sway a little side to side. And then inhale for a half lift, flat back, long spine. Then exhale to fold. Then bend your right knee a whole lot. Plant your right hand down between your feet. You might need to be on fingertips, it helps. Then peel your left arm open, just a little twist. So you're twisting through your spine for sure. Gaze can follow the top hand, but also see if you can feel a stretch along the outside of your left thigh. Take one more breath as you reach. Then exhale, both hands come down. Then swap it out. Bend the left knee a whole lot, plant your left hand or fingertips and peel open to the right. And this time feeling for the stretch along the outside of your right thigh. Twisting open. And take one more breath to reach. And exhale, right hand down. And then heel toe your feet together so everything comes to touch. Squeeze knees, thighs, everything towards the center line. And then on your inhale, one more time, hips low, heart high, arms reach, palms press, thunderbolt. So really squeeze into your palms so you can engage the undersides of your arms. Sit back just like in chair pose, but squeeze your legs together. Does that make any difference? Can you feel more engagement hugging the center from your core as you squeeze and sit low? For one more inhale, sit into it. And then exhale, spill, forward, fold, release. Awesome, awesome work. Then take one more inhale, half lift. And exhale to plant your hands, step your feet back, and travel through your flow. Way to stay with it. And I encourage you to try a vibrational breath into down dog. It's a really, really lovely space for one. But once we're back, let's gather one together. Nice, PK. Exhale to drain your lungs. Inhale, full belly breath in. And exhale, flutter your lips. Release some heat, release some tension. Nice. Awesome. Then inhale to send your right leg long behind you. And exhale to step it in between your hands. Feel your back heel down, tent up on fingertips. Set up the lunge. And as you inhale, chest comes halfway up, hands by your sides, powerful lunge. So 2 arms, palms down by your hips, like airplane wings beside you. Then you really feel for one long line from your grounded back heel to the crown of your head. We're going to come back to that feeling. And then start to draw your hands together behind your back. Create one big fist with them. On your inhale, draw that fist towards your back heel. Open up your chest. Maybe lift your head, open your heart. And then slowly, as you exhale, release the grip. Slide your arms forward, biceps frame your ears. Extended power lunge. So one long line from heel all the way to your fingertips and squeeze your core, engage. Find that line, remember this feeling. Exhale to squeeze your core, SH. Inhale to rise, warrior 1. Exhale to open, warrior 2. So find your long, strong warrior 2 beneath you. And take your gaze over your right hand in front, flip it to the sky. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, reverse your warrior. So right hand sweeps up and over. Your left hand can slide down your back leg to your calf or stay on your thigh. Or maybe it wraps around your back, but if it does, really try and give it a purpose. Really press into your front right hip crease. See if you can sit a little lower in your lunge as you do. Reach a little bit further up and back. Feeling for a stretch along your right side body, opening in the right side ribs. For just one more inhale, sit low into your lunge, reach up, reach back. And exhale, 2 hands, cartwheel down. Step your foot back and travel through your flow. Nice. And back in downward dog. Inhale, sends the left leg long. Exhale to step it through. Plant your foot between your hands. Feel your back heel down, tent up on fingertips. And as you inhale, chest comes halfway up, hands by your sides, powerful lunge. Find that really long line, reaching through the crown of your head, and try and iron out the back of your neck. If you feel like your chest is sitting right on your thigh, pull up just a little bit more. Yeah, very nice. Then draw your hands together behind your back. Create that big fist again. And on your inhale, draw it towards your back heel, open your chest, open your heart. Lovely. Then slowly as you exhale, release your grip. Control, biceps frame the ears, extended power lunge. And really breathe into it. Find that core engagement. Find that length, that reach. Exhale to squeeze, SH. Inhale to rise, warrior one. Exhale, peel open, warrior two. You guys look awesome, awesome work. So find your long, strong warrior two beneath you. This time gaze comes over your left hand in front. Flip it to the ceiling. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse. You have the same options with your back hand, but feel free to take any variation that makes sense to you. And just give your front knee a glance. Check in that it's not bowing in or out. It has a tendency to bow in. Yes, awesome adjustment, Tina. So stack your front knee, press into the hip crease if you do wrap your hand, and really try and straighten your arm out if you do. So you have that little bit of extra leverage, pushing you to sit lower, reach higher for one more breath, sit into it, reach up, and exhale, two hands, cartwheel down. Step your foot back, travel through your flow. And back in downward dog. Take it on your own, one breath, one movement, warrior one, warrior two in reverse. And you can keep or leave the power lunge just like everything else. But I really encourage you to try and make it a true one breath, one movement, even if it's just this one time. Inhale, I move. Exhale, I move again. Sometimes we have resistance to that continuous motion, but allow it to rinse you out just for a few minutes. And taking those audible breaths can sometimes help with that a lot. Gives you a tangible rhythm to flow to. So find whatever serves this moment. And breathe your way through it. I wish I could hear all the breaths. I'm sure it's loud. Allow your flow. Thought of things with your neighbor, those of you who have a buddy in the room. Allow breath to guide you. Then we'll gather back in stillness, down dog or a child's pose. And again, make your choice, whether it's rest or activity. And if you're moving, keep moving. But if you found yourself there, start to exhale everything away. Inhale, full breath in. And exhale, HA. Awesome. And from your downward facing dog, inhale, send right leg long, and exhale to step it through. This time, keep your back heel lifted. And then inhale to rise up, reach up, crescent lunge. So it's a lot like our warrior one, but back heel's lifted. So it might help to be more like train tracks than a balance beam with your feet. And then really press into your back toes. Pop your heel up very high like you're wearing a stiletto. Squeeze your left leg straight behind you. That'll help turn your hips forward, but give you so much stability. And as you inhale, grow tall. And exhale, send your left arm forward, right arm peels back for an open twist, twisting towards the right. And see if your gaze can follow your back hand. Really reach wide towards each end of your mat. And then maybe after a moment, you start to drop your right hand down around your left thigh, exalted warrior. And then reach your left arm up, kind of like in reverse warrior, stretching along your side body. It's a nice twisted stretch all along the left side. Take one more inhale, and exhale sweeps you back to center. Inhale to grow tall, and exhale, two hands down, and step your foot back, but pause in your upper push-up plank. We're gonna set up for side plank. So start to squeeze your legs together behind you, just like in that thunderbolt before. Then bring your right hand to center, right beneath your face. And peel open with your left hand, rolling onto the outside edge of your right foot. Yeah, awesome. You can have a lot of options here. You could drop your bottom knee for a little more stability. You could always stagger your feet too. Or maybe for a challenge, you start to float your top arm forward and start to float your top foot up. And for one last breath, look up towards the ceiling and exhale with control, both hands down, and travel through your flow. Whew. Awesome work. Way to stay with it. Then back in downward facing dog. We'll go through it on the other side. So inhale, send left leg long. Exhale, step it through. Keep your back heel lifted. Inhale to rise, crescent lunge. Yeah, find those little check-ins, find your balance. And remember, pop your back heel up way high. Squeeze your back leg really, really straight. Help turn you forward. Yeah, nice. And with an inhale, grow tall through your chest. And exhale, heels right arm forward, left arm back, open twist to the left. So remember to try and keep squeezing your back leg straight as you twist. Don't lose the balance. Very nice. And breathe a little space. And maybe your gaze is going backwards and you can start to drop your left hand down around your right thigh and reach your right arm up and overhead. Yeah, feeling for that exalted, that stretch along right side, that twisting sensation. And your gaze can follow your top hand. It's available for another breath. And exhale to turn you back to center, release. Inhale to reach up, maybe back. And exhale, two hands to the mat. Step your left foot back, pause your upper push-up plank. Bring your feet together behind you. And this time, left hand sneaks into the middle, right below your face, and peel open with the right. And take any variation, even if it's different from the last side. Drop the knees, stagger the feet for balance. Keep trying to squeeze your obliques, though. Send your hips up even higher, like a rainbow arc. Nice. And then start floating top hand forward. Maybe top foot floats up. And can you challenge the balance for just a second? Gaze up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. One more breath. And then exhale with control. Two hands come down and travel through your flow. Awesome, awesome work. Way to stay with it. Ooh. Nice. So from your downward dog, one last bit on our feet. Bend your knees, glance between your hands. Step, hop, or float forward to the top of your mat. Hang heavy in your forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, flat back. And exhale to fold. Heel toe your feet together, squeeze everything towards the center. And then slowly, vertebra by vertebra, roll yourself all the way up to standing. Hands can stay by your side for a moment and close your eyes and just let yourself be. Take a breath, feel your heartbeat, feel the work you've done. We've just got a little bit more. So flutter your eyes open and inhale to reach up and identify your right hand. Once you've found it, exhale, sweep your right hand underneath the left for an eagle wrap. And you can double wrap or just take a really nice self hug. They're really great. So whatever variation you've found, with legs together beneath you, start to sit low into your chair. Find that chair pose, that same as the thunderbolt earlier, squeezing in the thighs. Then this time, start to shift your weight into your left foot. Start to sneak your right foot up and over, crossing high on the thighs. Then maybe you can tuck the toes, double wrap. Try and squeeze your legs together. Sit as short as you can from the waist down and be as tall as you can from the waist up, lifting your heart. Then for a moment, can you lift your heart even higher? And then as you exhale, squeeze your elbows towards your knees. When they meet, release your hands, slide them out by your sides, that airplane wing feeling from power lunge. And then slowly start to unravel your right leg, send it back for awkward airplane. Find the balance, catch it for a moment. Remember that power lunge feeling, one long line. And then maybe hands pass through heart center. Maybe two arms reach forward for warrior three for just one more breath. And then recalling your crescent lunge. As you exhale, bend your front knee, drop your right toes behind you into your crescent lunge. Way to stay with the balance. Awesome transitions, everyone. And inhale to press your palms. Exhale, drag them to heart center. Elbows come out wide. Inhale, puff up your chest. Exhale, hinge forward and twist to the left. Right elbow finds left thigh. Palms press to the center of your chest. And maybe you go for a flyaway. Maybe you go for a bind. Think inhale, long spine. Exhale, turn deeper. One more full breath. And exhale, back to center. Inhale, reach up, look up, crescent lunge. And exhale, two hands to the mat. Step your foot back and travel through your flow. Awesome, awesome work. Way to stay with that. Let's take a breath before we move on. Got one more side. So exhale, drain your lungs. Inhale, full breath, biggest so far. Exhale, flutter the lips. Release the heat. Awesome. Then bend your knees, glance forward. Step hop, float to the top of your mat, hang heavy, forward fold. Take the moment, take a breath. Then inhale for a half lift, flat back, long spine. And exhale to fold. And making sure your feet are pressed close together again, squeezing the legs. Slowly roll yourself up. And maybe now that you know where you're headed, this moment of stillness, this moment of rest, standing softly, can feel just that much sweeter. So take a breath. Sigh. Awesome. And inhale, reach the arms up. This time it's your left hand. And as you exhale, left hand sweeps underneath the right, eagle wrap the other side. And again, if your shoulders are tight, feel free to take the hug, even if you eagle wrap on the last side. Totally good. And squeezing your legs together, start to sit low into your chair. Find that low point. And this time shifting the weight into your right foot beneath you. Sneak your left leg up and over, crossing it as high as you can. Will give you a little bit more stability. And then if you can tuck your toes, or if not, keep squeezing your legs together. Sit as low as you can. Grow your chest a little taller. One more inhale to maybe lift up. And exhale, squeezes the elbows to your thighs. When they meet or get close, unravel your hands. And then slowly, finding the balance as you go, unravel your foot. Send it back. That strong airplane balance, that power lunge length and lift with your core. And the hands could come to heart center. One more inhale to reach the arms long, warrior three, strong moments. Thinking of crescent lunge, bend through your right knee, drop your left toes. Inhale, grow tall. Way to stay with it. Awesome balance today. Whew. And one more inhale, press your palms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, puff up your chest. Exhale, hinge forward, twist to the left. Right elbow, left thigh. Palms pressed, turning you open. And remember from earlier, pop your heel up high, squeeze your back leg straight. That'll give you stability here. Yes, very nice. And maybe you fly. Maybe you bind. Whatever variation you found. Take one more breath. And exhale back to center. Inhale, reach up, look up, crescent lunge. And exhale, two hands come down. Step your foot back and travel through your flow. Really, really awesome. And we'll start to slow things down. So inhale to send your right leg long and back, and exhale to peel it open, just like the beginning of class. That big, big stretch in your hip. So move it around a little, move it around a lot. So when you feel ready, start to draw your right knee towards your right wrist. Send your shin across the mat at whatever angle is comfortable for you. And settle your hips down to half pigeon. Now check in that your back foot's straight and long behind you. And just make sure your knee and your foot in the front are the widest part of your body. They don't need to be parallel to the front of your mat. Just make sure they're wide. And inhale to puff up your chest. And exhale as you slowly lower. You can totally stay puffed up. You can stay on forearms, maybe stack your hands to let your forehead rest. Whatever you do, let your head hang. Let your body soften. See what else you can let go of here. And if you feel any pinching in your knee or your hip, feel free to roll over onto your back. I can get you into a figure 4. If you need an example, Karen's a good one. Just breathe a little space. Allow yourself to soften. Again, how quickly can you go from working really hard to resting really fully? We move a whole lot in an hour of class, but sometimes the stillness can be just as challenging, especially when we're at home and there are so many other things that can catch your eye or your attention as you practice. So can you really take these moments to just be? Let the world outside of your mat just melt away for just a few breaths. We'll take a breath together before we move. So start to exhale all of your air away. Inhale a full, sweet breath in. Send it to your right hip. And exhale, HM. I love to watch the rise and fall of breath in pigeons. It's very obvious sometimes. And slowly over your next couple breaths, start to walk your hands back beneath your shoulders. Start to press the mat away. Then you can travel through a flow, or you can just go straight back to down dog, but whatever serves you, take a moment to reset for the next side. Sometimes a nice wide leg child's pose can be super duper sweet between pigeon sides. When you find yourself back in down dog, inhale to send your left leg long and exhale, peel it open. Find that big, juicy hip stretch. And then when you're ready, left knee to left wrist, chin across the mat, hips heavy to the floor for half pigeon. Again, back foot's flat, all 5 toes on the mat behind you, and a full breath to lengthen your spine before you lower. Let yourself get really soft, get really slow with your breath back to that child's pose like quality of slow and smooth, long, extended. Now, these are the moments where things can creep in from around you, like I said before. So can you try and take a breath before you make a choice, whether it's to fix or fidget or to get up and water your plants? Just try and breathe a little space. And if the distraction is internal, try and let that pass like breath. Our minds aren't blank, but think inhales and exhales. Always coming, always going, but never held. And let's take a breath. Start to exhale, soft and sweet, everything out. Inhale, full breath. Send it to your left hip. And exhale, HM. And slowly, after another breath or so, start to work your way out of it. Hands beneath the shoulders, left leg back. And you can travel through a final flow of class if you want it. Your way, meet back in downward dog one last time. And from your downward facing dog, just drop your knees, come back to a tabletop position. You can go through a couple cat cows when you land here, if that feels good to you. Inhale, belly drops, exhale, round spine. And then this time, pause with a cat spine. So hips high, heart high, and belly dropped. And just slowly, keeping your hips exactly where they are, start to walk your hands forward, pressing your chest towards the floor for puppy pose. And you can bring your chin to the mat, or you can leave your forehead there if it's a little much on your throat. But try and keep your hips sitting directly over your knees as you let your heart melt into the floor. Find that little bit of a back bend. Shoulder stretch. And after another breath, just start to settle your hips back towards your heels, dragging your hands along your mat as you go towards your child's pose. Once you take a moment in child's pose, you can reground, roll your forehead on the mat, that intuition space. And when you've had a moment, you feel ready, start to sit up into your hero's pose, hips on the heels, just seated. Or if this is uncomfortable for you, feel free to take a cross-legged seat. And find a meaningful place to rest your hands. Maybe it's palms up for receiving the energy around you from all over the place. Or maybe it's palms down to ground into your own space, your own energy. Maybe one to belly, one to heart, something really personal, but whatever you choose, close your eyes. Take a moment of stillness, a moment of gratitude for getting here today. When you choose to come, your yoga has started. So good for making the choice. That's half the battle. And then, of course, my favorite breath, one for you. Because all of the work you do here, that's yours. Any change you feel this practice brings to your day, your week, your life, it's your work. It has nothing to do with anything I say. Just you showing up for you. So that's really beautiful. So take a breath for that. And just let it go. And start to flutter your eyes open. Send your legs out long in front of you. Slowly in your time, we'll set up for seated forward fold. So try and be in about the center of your mat so that you can lay down after this. Rock the fleshy bits out from underneath you so your sit bones are directly on the floor. Then take a moment, just press your hands into the floor beside you. Try and lengthen your spine just that little bit extra using the pressure of your hands on the floor. Nice. Then inhale to reach up, grow tall. And exhale to fold forward. And you can take this really actively, pulling against your feet. Inhale, long spine, exhale, fold deeper. Or maybe you take it more softly, more restoratively. You could even bend your knees, give yourself a hug. Whatever serves you here. Take a couple breaths in whatever variation that is. If you are going for lengthening, going for flexibility, think of it as mini half lift, pulling your head towards your toes, your heart towards your toes. And just take another breath or two. And then slowly dragging your fingertips along your legs like paintbrushes. Roll yourself all the way up to seated. Then bend your knees, the soles of your feet to the floor. And start to lean back, bringing your feet up to parallel to the floor with you. Then press your palms above your thighs. Just a tiny bit of core could be in, I swear, it's not much. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, back to center. Then split your hands, hug knees to chest, chest to knees. Exhale, lower, lengthen, hover. Inhale, knees to chest, chest to knees. Exhale, lower, lengthen, and hover. Inhale, knees to chest, chest to knees. Exhale, lower, lengthen, and hover. Then scissor kick your feet for 5, for 4, for 3. Maybe arms frame your ears for 2, and 1. Let it go. Let yourself fall back to the mat. But then bend your knees so the heels of your feet are right by your butt so your fingers can touch them, hands by your side. Just going to do a little bridge pose right here at the end. So start to bring your shoulder blades just a little bit more underneath you. That helps. And then pressing your heels into the ground, start to lift your hips up high for your boat or bridge pose. And then maybe hands interlace beneath you to pull the shoulder blades together more. Just keep thinking hips up higher and pulling your chest towards your chin. One more breath. And then just slowly lower. And bring your knees to your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe you roll around a little. Maybe you roll around a lot. Whatever serves you in this moment, that little back massage or some stillness. Nice. And then slowly start to draw the soles of your feet together. Knees come out wide for supine butterfly. So you can grab around your feet, around your ankles, whatever you can reach. Just keep your head on the ground or put it back down if it lifts, and then pull your toes towards your heart. One more inhale to squeeze. Then as you exhale, open up, happy baby. Feet, knees come out wide. And whatever you have left, leave it here. If it's a whole lot of movement, move around, kick one leg out, then the other, roll around a lot. If it's a whole lot of breath, find a whole lot of breath, those big happy baby breaths. H-A has, any other sound you can possibly come up with. What would a happy baby do, right? And then let's take a quick lion's breath before we're done. So start to exhale, drain your lungs. Inhale, fill up, squeeze your face, squeeze everything really tight, close your eyes. Then exhale, tongue out, eyes open. I couldn't hear that, but I'm sure it was awesome. And then release your feet. Let yourself fall into your final Shavasana. You have rest, nothing left to do. Try and feel everything get heavier. The little things, big things, your thighs, your calves, your glutes, your core, your hands, your feet, fingers, toes. Soften your face, soften your jaw. Let yourself rest. Nothing left to do. Thank you all so much for being here. It's incredible to be able to continue to share this practice, even when the world sometimes feels like it's really far apart. This community makes me feel connected to all the little corners of the world that showed up. New York, Oakland, San Diego, Queens, those are the ones in the chat box. So thank you. We are donation-based now and always. So I'll drop the link in the chat box. It's $12 suggested, but you know, we know that this can be a really tough time for everybody. So give what you can when you can. And if you can't give today, that's okay. Thanks for showing up. You know, tell a friend, tell your family, tell someone you love or someone you don't. Send them our way. We'll always be here. And then those of you in the fellowship challenge, I'll drop my Instagram handle again. You can tag me in your post for the day. And finally, like always, actually one more announcement. There's still time to sign up for Teach, even if you're not doing the fellowship thing. Starts next weekend. Should be a great group of teachers there to invite you in on Friday. So if you want to, if you're curious at all and don't have anything to do at home right now, maybe it's the best time. One of the best things I ever did for myself. Not the best. Finally, I'll read a quote. And then I'll take a breath to end class. So my quote today is from Rumi. Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you. And do not worry that your life is turning upside down. How do you know that the side you're used to is better than the one to come? So one more time, as this group together from apart. Start to exhale all of your air out. Every last bit. Inhale, full breath. Biggest of your day. Expand. And exhale, HA. Thank you all so much. You can stay just where you are, but if you would like, you can start wiggling fingers and toes. You could take a nice, great big morning stretch with your arms above your head. You could do a couple poses you wanted to throw in at the end to get yourself ready to come back up to seated. No rush, no need. But I am going to unmute everyone in a moment here so that we can all say hi.